Hi, I'm Beth with TB Properties Buys Land. Last week we discussed undivided interest. What we talked about was that undivided interest is a term used to discuss different types of ownership of a property, in which one or more people own a share of that property. Whether they were inherited, they own it by an inheritance left to them. Now, it doesn't matter if the shares are unequal. Everyone has an equal right to the property. However, when it comes to selling that property, everyone has to be in agreement and everyone's got to sign off on any kind of changes that happen to that property. Okay, so it's pretty dismal when it comes to being able to sell your property if you've got undivided interest. So if you look at your legal description and it says UNDIV and it has a percentage next to it, chances are that you do not have 100% ownership of that property, that you share that with somebody else or some other people. Again, if this was passed down through multiple generations, that can just continually be split and smaller percentages are passed down. So it does look pretty dismal as to whether you can sell that property as a whole to someone like TB Properties Buys Land or to somebody else. You can always sell your share if somebody's actually interested in that. Now there have been times in which TB Properties Buys Land has been able to purchase a property that had undivided interest. Okay, now in doing so, the people that we were buying from, they knew the other stakeholders, the other interest owners of that property, and they were able to reach out to them and get everyone to agree on selling that property and what that cost was going, what that price was going to be, and how much they're going to get for each part of the sale. We work with the title company, and it depends. Every state's a little bit different how this is handled. Okay, so in this particular state, the title company sent out affidavits of heirship. These were filled out by all of the property owners. They filled that information out. It took a lot longer to close. Instead of being able to close in 2 to 3 weeks, I believe it took maybe 2.5 to 3 months, something like that. But these people were on the ball. They contacted everybody. Everyone got their affidavits of heirship. They filled them out. They got them sent in. When title paperwork came back and they were ready to close, everybody went in and got it notarized, and they closed fairly quickly. So we had this happen a couple times where we've been able to buy properties that was not totally owned by the first person who was interested in selling to us. But we do, in order to do this correctly and do this the right way, we have to have everybody who's on the deed, everyone who's got ownership stake in the property has got to sign off, and we close that title company. Okay, so if you have partial interest, if you know some of the other interest owners or other interest holders, we might be able to work something out. We might be able to get everyone to agree and to sign and to be paid for selling the property. However, if you only have a very small percentage stake in the land and you know that there are possibly 20, 30, 100 plus heirs, chances are, we're going to look into it and we may have to tell you, hey, I'm sorry, we can't buy that property from you guys. Now, like I mentioned, I think in last week's video, every state is different. Every state has different laws. There are ways that you can get with a real estate attorney and sometimes remedy the situation. But again, we are not attorneys. We're not offering any advice. If TB Properties Buys Land cannot help you, your next step might be to reach out to a real estate attorney in your area and see what they can do. But if you've got a property, rural vacant land that you're interested in selling, if you've got 100% ownership, that's easy. If there's just a few of you, who is also partial ownership of that property, reach out to us. We're here to answer any questions that you might have, and we're interested in speaking with you. Thanks again for listening.